We made kale and bean soup. This is what we used.
The meal is cost-effective because it makes 8 servings at once, which can be refrigerated and reheated for up to a week and a half. A lot of the foods included in the recipe can be grown in a community garden, such as kale or onions. The main source of protein is canned beans, which tends to be less expensive than other forms of protein such as chicken or beef. The meal addresses the issue of space for dorm cooking because it only requires one pot that every ingredient is added into. To store the leftover servings, you only need one container, which is easy to fit in a small dorm refrigerator. We are addressing the issue related to meat consumption in our recipe. Meat is expensive and requires a large amount of resources, such as water, to produce. We are also cutting the carbon footprint of our meal because there is no meat that has to be refrigerated or travel long distances, lowering the amount of CO2 emitted. For example, on average, 13,300 grams of CO2 is emitted per kilogram of beef. We decided to remove the meat that was in our soup to lower carbon emissions. We even use vegetable broth instead of chicken broth to help cut the CO2 emissions. 3,500 grams of CO2 is emitted per kilogram of chicken. Our recipe addresses sustainability because to prepare this meal you only need one pot and one burner. One pot means fewer dishes, so there is less water used when washing dishes. Using one burner consumes less electricity as well. In the summer and spring season, most of these ingredients can be grown in small gardens that most students have access to. Although we didn't have access to these vegetables because of the time of year, we used canned foods when we made our dish. Even though metal cans may not be as sustainable for the environment, for someone on a budget, canned food can be more sustainably cost-effective and stored for a while to last from paycheck to paycheck. The total cost of the meal is $23.95 and makes 8 servings, coming to a total of $2.99 per serving. The monthly allocation for District of Columbia participants in the U.S. Department of Agriculture Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, and formerly known as food stamps, is $135.17, which comes out to $4.50 per day. With our meal, we were $1.51 under the daily allocation, leaving extra money for other food expenses.